بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد
اللهم صل على محمد
وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Alhamdulillah, we have tawfiq to continue our study of Bidayat al-Hikmah. We reached the fourth section, chapter 3. The title of this chapter is Wajibul Wujud Mahiyatuhu Enniyatuh.
Which page again? Page 69?
My page number is 58, but
58.
yours might be different. So,
49.
yeah. فصل الثالث المرحلة الرابعة. We said that every Mahiyya has equal relation with respect to existence and non-existence. Al-Mahiyatu mutasawiyatun nisba ila al-wujud wal-adam. And therefore we said every Mahiyya is mumkinun zatan. In its essence, it is contingent. Neither wujud is necessary for Mahiyya nor adam. None of them is necessary. What about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Wajibul wujud bizat. With respect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we don't have any distinction between his wujud and his essence. For mumkinat, for us, for creatures, there is a distinction to be made between their essence and wujud or adam. Their essence is their mahiyya. It can exist or not exist. Okay? What is mahiyya of insan? Haywan natiq. It doesn't have wujud as a condition or adam as a condition. Okay? Therefore, insan can exist or not exist. But when it comes to wajibul wujud bizat, we don't have anything other than his existence. We don't have an essence, which is a kind of mahiyya, which can sometimes exist, sometimes not exist. Wajibul wujud bizat, his existence and his essence are the same. So, wajibul wujud bizat doesn't have mahiyya in the common sense. Mahiyya in the sense that we use for mumkinat. If you insist on using mahiyya for wajibul wujud, you should know that mahiyya for him is his wujud. And therefore the meaning of mahiyya would be different, would be ma bihi shay'u huwa huwa. What makes something what it is? What makes Allah? Allah, his existence. Because he doesn't have any essence or mahiyya other than his existence. What makes us us? No. Our mahiyya makes us what we are. But whether we exist or not is something else. Yeah? I told you this example before. An elephant, which is not existing here. There's no elephant here. Okay? But what makes elephant elephant? Nothing has existence because it doesn't exist. Whether it exists or doesn't exist, Its mahiyya makes it elephant. Yeah? Assalamu alaikum. Therefore, we've said before in the previous book that what the cause gives is not mahiyya. The cause gives existence. ما جعل الله المشمشة مشمشة بل أوجدها. Everything has its own essence by definition. But it is existence that comes from illah, or even non-existence. Non-existence also should come from outside, because mahiyya is equal. So, with respect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we should remember that we don't have mahiyya in the sense that we use for mumkanat, a kind of essence that may exist or not exist. No, for him, everything is his existence. Okay? So, if you want to, as I said, if you want to insist on using the concept like mahiyya for God, you have to change the meaning. Mahiyya not in the sense of ma yuqalu fi jawab mahu or ayyu shay'an huwa fi dhate. No, mahiyya in the sense of ma bihi shay huwa huwa. What makes wajib al-wujud? His wujud. Okay? So, the title is Wajibul Wujud Mahiyatuhu Enniyatu. Enniya means wujud. Mahiyatuhu wujuduhu. This is different from us. This is different from any other creature. Okay? So, this is the title. Now we want to go to the discussion. Wajibul wujud mahiyatuhu enniyatu. Necessary being, what makes it what it is, its existence. بمعنى أن لا ماهية له وراء وجوده الخاص به. In the sense that it has no such a thing as mahiyya beyond and outside its wujud. There is no distinction between wujud and mahiyya. For wajib al-wujud. I don't know if you remember, we said this before. كل ممكن زوج تركيبي من وجود وماهية. Every mumkin, in our analysis, not in reality. In reality, there's one reality, but in our analysis, we can separate into existence and mahiyya. You remember? كل ممكن زوج تركيبي من وجود وماهية. It's a pair of two things, wujud and mahiyya. But for God, it's the same. There is no separation. Because as soon as you can distinguish between essence of something and wujud, it becomes dependent. Because it means that in its essence there is no wujud. Therefore, to have wujud, it needs cause. If existence is not in the essence, then means this by its essence doesn't necessarily exist. It can exist, it cannot exist. It becomes equal with respect to wujud and adam. So, wajibul wujud mahiyatuhu enniyatuh. بمعنى أنه لا ماهية له وراء وجوده الخاص به. In the sense that wajibul wujud has no mahiyya beyond its existence which is exclusive to it. Why? وَذَلِكَ. The reason is this, because أنه لو كانت له ماهية وذات. Because if it had a mahiyya, an essence, other than its exclusive existence, لكان وجوده زائدا على ذاته. Existence becomes additional to essence. عرضيا له, accidental, because if it is not in the essence, then it is not essential, it is accidental. So in the essence there is no existence. So existence then needs explanation. If existence is not in the essence, then you have to explain why it exists or why it doesn't exist. Okay? So لكان وجوده زائدا على ذاته. Its existence becomes additional to its essence. عرضيا له, accidental to the essence. وكل عرضي معلل بالضرورة. Anything which is accidental needs إلا. كل عرضي معلل. Anything which is not essential needs إلا. For insan to be katib is accidental, so it needs إلا. You cannot say because it is insan it is katib. But if it is something about essence, doesn't need any additional cause. For us to be jism, to be hassas, to be haywan, to be nami, to be mutaharrik, to be natiq, all of them don't need any cause. It's part of our essence. Either we exist or we don't exist, but if we exist with all our essentials.
How is this? So here we're saying Allah is not Arazi, therefore there is no Allah. And everything which is Arazi, then there is Allah. Everything is the same, is broken. If we link this back to the concept that we said that there's only one existence, but there are only different intensities of existence. And so doesn't this mumkin, which is kind of, one of the lower intensities of existence, like a human being, doesn't that also become wajib in a sense that it is always going to be there because it's part of that one existence? So it can't be a time that the human being doesn't exist, because the existence of the human being is part or a part of the existence and part of that one existence which we have. I'm not sure if I'm clear on
that. Is not about zati. That is not about imkan zati. That is another thing that we discuss in the discussion about imkan wuqu'i. That if the complete cause exists, all the effects should exist. Therefore, if you have knowledge of all the realities of the world, you would see that everything that happens is necessary. But this is bil ghayr, it's not bizzat. Bizzat is mumkin. If the complete cause is there, then becomes necessary. So, كل عرضي معلل بالضرورة. Anything which is accidental necessarily is mu'allal, means it's caused. Yeah, mu'allal means it has a cause, it's caused. فَوُجُودُهُ مُعَلَّلٌ. If wajibul wujud had mahiyya other than its wujud, then wujud would become arazi for it, and wujud then needs illa. Now let's see, can there be any illa for the wujud of wajibul wujud? No, it's not possible. Because illatuhu, the cause for the existence of wajib, either it's mahiyatuhu or ghayruha. Either it is his own essence and mahiyya or something else. If it is his own mahiyya, then it means that his mahiyya must exist before can give existence to itself. Because any cause precedes in existence his ma'lul. Any cause should exist before its ma'lul. متقدمة وجودا. So if you say God's mahiyya gives existence to God, means God must first exist and then give existence to himself. It's not possible. So if you say his illa is his mahiyya, and we know that al-illatu mutaqaddimatun ala ma'lulaha bil-wujud bil-dharura, we know that the cause certainly must exist before its effect, then the result is كانت الماهية متقدمة عليه بالوجود. His mahiyya has to exist before God and has to precede God in existence. Then we ask question, how can mahiyya of God exist before God? Does it exist with the same existence or it has another existence? If you say the same existence, then it's door. How this existence can exist before itself? If you say mahiyya of God has another existence, then this means that God has two existences. It doesn't make sense. Actually, it's easier than this. Sometimes something is easy, but when you want to argue for it, it may become more difficult. It's very easy to say that if God in his essence doesn't have wujud, then it needs a cause. And then it contradicts to be wajibul wujud. But we want to technically explain it. It becomes a little bit maybe more complicated. So, taqaddumuha alayh. So, if that mahiyya has wujud, taqaddumuha alayh, then that mahiyya precedes wujud of God, emma bihadal wujud, with the same existence, and this implies taqaddumu shay ala nafsih, the existence of God in his mahiyya would precede existence of God in himself. وَهُوَ مُحَالٌ. If you say no, mahiyya precedes God in existence but with a second existence, not the same existence. وَإِمَّا بِوُجُودٍ آخَرٍ. So this has the problem that first you have two existences for God. Secondly, we say, okay, that first existence is wajibul wujud. Does that have also mahiyya or not? If that mahiyya, then it's moved there and it goes endlessly. وَإِمَّا بِوُجُودٍ آخَرٍ means it precedes wajib with another wujud, not the same wujud. نَنْقُلُ الْكَلَامِ إِلَيْهِ. We move the discussion to that first wujud that mahiyya has, by which precedes wajibul wujud. We say, what about that wujud? Is this separate from essence or it's the same? If you say the same, okay, so then why you didn't say here the same thing? If you say it's different, then again that mahiyya should precede its existence. Yatasalsal. And if you say illatuhu ghayra mahiyatihi, because there were two options. If it has illa, it's either his mahiyya or something else. If it's mahiyya, has the problem that we mentioned. If it is something other than his own mahiyya, again, this contradicts with being wajibul wujud. وَإِنْ كَانَتْ إِلَّتُهُ غَيْرَ مَاهِيَّتِ. If the illa, the cause for wajibul wujud, is something other than his own essence and quiddity, فَيَكُونُ مَعْلُولًا لِغَيْرِهِ. Then it becomes effect for something else. وَذَلِكَ يُنَافِي وُجُوبَ الْوُجُودِ بِالذَّاتِ. And this contradicts to be necessary being. Okay. وَقَدْ تَبَيَّنَ بِذَلِكَ. Now please listen carefully to this part. Our discussion so far was very important, but this part is even more important. And I am happy that we are ending our semester with this discussion about wajibul wujud. Alhamdulillah, we are finishing our discussion. So, قد تبين بذلك أن الوجوب بذاته, necessity of God is wujub bizat. because we said we have wujub bil-zat, we have wujub bil-ghayr, and we have wujub bil-qiyas. Our wujub is bil-ghayr, but for God is wujub bil-zat. Okay? Why God is wajibul wujud bil-zat?
It has no cause,
Because of its existence.
no existence.
Its existence makes it necessary to exist. His existence is different from our existence. Our existence is weak, is poor, it's dependent. As you remember, we said our existence is rabit. But his existence is independent, self-sufficient, self-subsistent. Okay? Has no negativity, no limitation, no restriction, no shortcoming, no deficiency. Our existence is very limited. If you remember when we were talking about Mahiyya in the previous book, inshallah we talk about it here also later. We said, what is Mahiyya? Mahiyya is indeed hududul wujud, is the borders of existence. You remember? So, God has necessary being, absolute being, therefore has no border. Any perfection exists for God. It's not that God, with respect to any perfection, is neutral. It's mumkin. He may have it or he may not have it. And therefore, if he has it, then it needs explanation. Any perfection that can be considered as a perfection necessarily exists for God. Inshallah, this is the next chapter. That there is no perfection lacking by God. So, أن الوجوب بذاته, necessary by itself, by his essence, وصف منتزع من حق وجود الواجب. It's a quality which is abstracted from the core of his existence, not from anything outside. Haq means from its center. Of course, there is no center there. Just he wants to emphasize that it's not from outside, it's not from margin, it's from his essence. It relates to that, yes. Kashifun an kawn wujudihi bahtan. This means that his existence is baht, means mahd, absolute. Any mumkin is wujud muqayyad, its existence with limitations. But existence of God is absolute. Okay? Baht. 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 Like baht, but it's ha. Baht. Baht means simple, mere, absolute. So, this is a very important point. We had this before again in the previous book. This is why then our existence cannot be considered as something next to God. It's very important. We cannot say we are other than God in the sense that God is one, I am one, we become two. No one can count us and God in the same level. Okay? So, if we are here, say, 14 people, okay, or more, 16, I don't know. If we are 16 people here, we cannot say there are 17 intelligent beings here, 16 human beings and one God. Because if you say God is 17 of us, it means that we are bringing him to our level. It means that God is not in me, God is not in you, God is not in her. Therefore, God is someone else other than us. But the reality is that God is in me, in you, in her, in everyone, outside us, inside us, everywhere. So, this is why the Quran says, ما تكون من نجوى ثلاثة إلا وهو رابعهم رابع ثلاثة ولا خمسة إلا هو سادسهم. So, not ثالث ثلاثة, رابع ثلاثة. It's a big difference. ثالث ثلاثة and رابع ثلاثة are different. We don't say ثالث ثلاثة. لقد كفر الذين قالوا إن الله ثالث ثلاثة. But ما تكون من نجوى ثلاثة إلا وهو رابعهم. Okay? So, his existence is not a kind of existence like us. His existence is absolute and our is limited. The absolute existence exists with all the limited existence, not vice versa. Very important.
What about Ahl al-Kahf? Ahl al-Kahf and their dog.
No, that's it.
قالوا خمسة وهو سادسهم.
No.
What about سادسهم here?
So means 5 human beings and 1 dog.
Difference existence.
So we don't say 6 human beings. Sadisuhum. In a sense, you can say like, because dog is not one of the human beings. Yes.
I remember you had said once before that God is like time. You can't say, just I think you explained it that way, that He's everywhere and you can't really split to a place. I think, am I right in that you explained it like?
Yeah, we said somehow it's like the difference between a specific time and absolute time.
Yes.
A specific space and absolute space. But whether we have absolute time and space, that's a question.
Indeed.
Just for the sake of understanding. But absolute being is there. Or another thing that I like very much is absolute truth. Absolute truth and particular truth. Any true idea, any true proposition is like a particular being. But then al-Haq, in its generality, it's different from them, but at the same time, all of them are its manifestations. Yes.
Sure. When you said that we cannot say that if there are 16 people here, we cannot say there are 17 intelligent beings. But this ayah in Quran seems to say that whenever there are 3, he is the fourth.
Fourth of the 3. Not just fourth. Fourth of the 3. If you say fourth of the 4, that's the problem.
How does it?
So it means that you should not bring God to the level of them and count 1, 2, 3, 4. If you say 1, 2, 3, 4, it means that you are bringing God to the same level. But we say there are 3 and God is the fourth of the 3, not fourth of the 4.
It's a totally new dimension.
It means that his relation is different.
His dimension is totally different from ours.
Yes. Yes, it's fine.
Because you, I think, through the Kaf, it said, He is closer to us within our soul. He hears the whispering of it, He's closer to our heavenly face. Remember, we brought this point up, and you said, He's just like time. I think that's what you explained at that time. And so that He's everywhere, He's a totally different.
Yes, but he's everywhere without any place limiting him. That's the most important. He is in every being without any being limiting him. No being can say, I contain God. But no one also can say, God is not with me. God is outside me. Yes.
Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala don't say ما من نجوى ثلاثة إلا هو معهم, like Musa and Harun when they said
you can say Labas. You can say ma'ahum, but there is a beautiful point here that God wants to say that you can consider him not as the fourth of the four, as the fourth of three. If you just say huwa ma'akum, that's correct, and we have it in some places. Aynamat, for example, no. Huwa ma'akum aynama kuntum. He says that, but this is extra point. ما تكون من نجوى ثلاثة إلا وهو رابعهم. رابع ثلاثة. It's very, very delicate point. Yes, beautiful. So, his existence is baht. This was what I wanted to explain. Baht.
What does Bach mean?
Baht means absolute.
Bach means accent.
Not limited. في غاية الشدة, in maximum intensity. Yeah, there is no limit for his existence. غير مشتمل على جهة عدمية. There is no negational aspect to God. That say, for example, God lacks knowledge or this type of knowledge. God lacks this type of power. God lacks this type of, for example, mercy. You cannot find anything good which is lacked by God. Is لو اشتمل على شيء من الأعدام, because if existence of God had involved any Adam, any negational thing, حرم الكمال الوجودي الذي في مقابله. It means that God doesn't have that kamal which pertains to this Adam. So if God has Adam of one type of knowledge, means that type of knowledge is missing. If there is one type of power that God doesn't have, means that type of power is missing. فَكَانَتْ ذَاتُهُ مُقَيَّدَةً بِعَدَمِ. Then it means that essence of God would be limited by the Adam. Is he has everything excluding this. فَلَمْ يَكُنْ وَاجِبًا بِالذَّاتِ صِرْفًا لَهُ كُلُّ كَمَالٍ. Then it would not be wajib al-wujud, which is absolute and has all the perfections. So, when you think of God, remember, when you think of God, I am repeating, when you think of God, you remember God only as being. And because it is just, he is just being, so there can be no limit. Because any limit means Adam. He's just being. We are being plus Adam. We are not simply being. We are limited. Now we move on to the next chapter, with a short chapter. واجب الوجود بالذات واجب الوجود من جميع الجهات. It's very easy if you understood the previous one. When something is wajibul wujud in essence by himself, in every aspect it's wajibul wujud. Because if there is any imkani point in wajibul wujud bizat, then it would no longer be absolute. it would lack that perfection. So anything that is possible is necessary for God. If there is anything that God doesn't have, it's imperfection. It's Adam. Any good thing that you can think as a kind of perfection, God has. Anything bad, like Sifat Salbiyah, God doesn't have. So there is nothing that God may have sometimes, may not have sometimes. Something that God may lack and may get it later, or may have and may lose it later. There is no change in God. There is nothing lacking by God. Okay? Therefore, we believe that God is not changing. God as essence is not changing. Any change that you think as sifat fi'liyah, as we said before, and that change is the change in relation between God and his creatures. Otherwise, God himself as his essence never changes. He is perfect forever. So, الفصل الرابع واجب الوجود بالذات واجب الوجود من جميع الجهات. Something which is necessary by himself, by his own essence, from every aspect is necessary. Means any quality that can be for him must be for him. There is no chance of waiting. God doesn't have potentiality. God doesn't have waiting condition. He's always perfect. إذ لو كان غير واجب بالنسبة إلى شيء من الكمالات التي تمكن له بالإمكان العام. Because if this was not the case, and we follow Burhan al-Khulf, if it was not wajib from every aspect, means from some aspect would be mumkin. So, لو كان غير واجب, if it was not wajib, Burhan al-Khulf, we want to prove that this is not possible. If he was not wajib with respect to some of kamalat, some of the perfections, which are possible, why it says تمكن له بالإمكان العام? Means it's not impossible. So anything which is possible for God, if was not necessary, it means that كان ذا جهة إمكانية. Then God would have in his essence contingency. With respect to that thing, he would be contingent. He may have it and may not have it. فَكَانَ خَالِيًا فِي ذَاتِهِ عَنْ. So it means that in his essence he would be empty. He would lack that perfection. مُتَسَاوِيَةً نِسْبَتُهُ إِلَى وُجُودِهِ وَعَدَمِهِ. His relation with having that perfection or not having that perfection would be equal. This means then his being would not be absolute. This means that his being is limited now. معناه تقيد ذاته بجهة عدمية. His essence would be limited with a negational point aspect. وقد عرفت في الفصل السابق استحالته. In the previous chapter we said it's impossible that God would have negational aspect. God has to be absolute being. Then we have the fifth chapter. This chapter is something that sometimes it is also discussed in Kalam. And I try to see, I don't know if we can finish it, but we will see. الشيء ما لم يجب لم يوجد. this is necessarily proved by the previous points. Anything before becoming necessary would not come to existence. Either it is wajibul wujud بالذات, or it is wajibul wujud بالغير. For mumkinat to come to existence, their wujud comes from غير. We said al-mahiyatu تقررت فأمكنت فاحتاجت فأوجبت فوجبت فأوجدت فوجدت. So ijab is necessary. God gives necessity to us, of course, God with everything else that we need, because for material beings we have also conditions that must be there. Existence of God for mujarradat is illat tamme, but for us existence of God plus the conditions. Remember these points. Therefore, God can be there and we are not there. Yeah? So, when the cause is completed, when you have al-illa tamma, the cause is completed, ma'lul cannot say, let me think whether I want to come to existence or not. Ma'lul must follow. لا يمكن تخلف المعلول عن علته التامة. Okay? علة التامة gives necessity and معلول becomes necessary. But what type of necessity is this? بالغير. بالغير.
But it's not very necessary that if he is there, we should exist. He can exist on his own without us being there.
Who?
Go Allah.
Allah is بالذات.
Yeah, bizarre.
He is واجب الوجود بالذات, but we are واجب الوجود بالغير. Yes.
Why did you just say mumkin? Why do you say wajib?
ممكن بالذات واجب الوجود بالغير. We are ممكن بالذات واجب الوجود بالغير.
But his existence doesn't depend on us being existent at all.
No, he is واجب الوجود بالذات. That's different. But we are واجب الوجود بالغير. Okay. You are welcome. الفصل الخامس في أن الشيء ما لم يجب لم يوجد. Anything unless it becomes necessary would not come to existence. As long as it has not become necessary, it has not come to existence. The second thing, بطلان القول بالأولوية. There were some متكلمين and perhaps some philosophers, but it's mostly some متكلمين, who said there is no need for ضرورة وجوب الوجود, ضرورة الوجود بالغير. As long as wujud overweighs Adam, it's enough. It is 50-50, it doesn't come to existence. But if wujud is stronger, like 60%, then it can come to existence. Or 70%, it can come to existence. Philosophers say this is wrong. Why? Because even if wujud is 99% possible, still this needs explanation why it existed.
So when you say wujud is outweighing what?
Adam.
Adam.
Okay? So, as long as there is even 1% or 1 in million of possibility of not existing, and then it exists, you can ask why. If something has to exist 99%, there is 1% chance that it may not exist. And now you see it exists. You have to explain. Because when it is 99%, sometime may exist, sometime may not exist. So we need an explanation. Okay? So anyone who has philosophical training would understand that awlawiyya would not work. It has to become necessary. Either necessarily exists or necessarily doesn't exist. We have imkan بالذات, then wujub بالغير or wujub or imtina' بالغير. We cannot say awlawiyya بالغير or awlawiyya بالذات. Awlawiyya is not enough. It has to be 100%. Okay. لا ريب أن الممكن الذي يتساوى نسبته إلى الوجود والعدم عقلاً. There is no doubt that mumkin, contingent being, whose relation with existence and non-existence is rationally equal. Okay, mumkin, from a rational perspective, has equal relation to wujud and adam. There is no doubt that mumkin, the contingent who has equal relation to wujud and adam, yatawaqqafu wujuduhu ala shay. Its existence depends on something which we call it illa, yusamma illa. Wa adamuhu, also adam of mumkin needs illa. But what is the illa of adam? Adamul illa. So wujuduhu depends on illa, wujudul illa, wa adamuhu depends on adam of illa. Is it clear? لا ريب أن الممكن يتوقف وجوده على شيء يسمى علة وعدمه means يتوقف عدمه على عدمها. There is no doubt that the existence of contingent depends on something which is called illah, and its adam depends on adam of illah. Okay. هل يتوقف, question, does وجود الممكن, the existence of contingent, depend على أن توجب العلة وجوده? The cause must necessitate the existence of ma'lul, which we call it wujub bil-ghayr. Or as long as it is not 50-50, it's okay. For example, makes wujud 55%.
No, it has to be little
It has to be 100%. أو أنه يوجد بالخروج على حد الاستواء. It can exist as long as it is not equal. وإن لم يصل إلى حد الوجوب. Even if it has not reached the level of necessity. It's not 100%, but 90%, 80%. The same about Adam. Does Adam become the condition if it is 100% or even if it is 60-70%, just more than 50, it can be Adam.
When we have said 100% of the causative agents with us, but we still need the causative causer to make it us life. Because we can't
Of course.
without him.
So without cause you cannot have 100%.
So that's 99%.
99% is still not complete.
So that 1% is a causer.
Cause has to be 100%.
Causer is that 1%.
وكذا القول في جانب العدم. The same thing is the question about Adam. Is Adam to become necessary, which means ممتنع بالغير, or as long as it's not 50-50, it's okay. This opinion is called al-awlawiyya. Awlawiyya comes from awla. Awla means it is more likely, it's preferable. Okay? So it's not musawi and it is not zaruri, it is preferable 60, 70, 80%. Okay?
It is the same meaning of awlawiyya in fiqh.
Yeah, but in fiqh, when we say awlawiyya, it depends. It can be awlawiyya fi maqam isbat, it can be fi maqam thubut, they are different. But the literal meaning is the same. قَدْ قَسَّمُوهَا. Then they have divided awlawiyya into two types.
What is awlawiyya?
Awlawiyya means to be preferred. It has preference, but it is not necessary and it is not equal. They said awlawiyya, like for example wujub. Wujub is zati and bil ghair. They say awlawiyya can be also zati and can be bil ghair. قد قسموها إلى الأولوية الذاتية. What does it mean, أولوية الذاتية? It means that there are some types of mahiyat that their essence has a stronger relation with wujud than adam. Means they more easily come to existence. For example, like angels. Of course, this is wrong idea, but I want to give example on their behalf. For angels to come to existence is easier than not to come to existence. Okay?
It's easier than not to come to it.
Yeah. Means essentially the preference is for existence. For some types of being, essentially the preference might not be for the existence. So this is called al-awlawiyyatu al-dhatiyya. Some have awlawiyyatu al-dhatiyya, some don't have awlawiyyatu al-dhatiyya. Pardon?
How does it say that? What's the how can there be perfect creation? When he just says you become be and it becomes.
Okay.
I can't understand.
Yeah, but that is for every creature. For every creature, when he says be, then there it is. But these people want to say mumkinat are not all the same. Some mumkinat in themselves have preference of existence. So if you leave them, they automatically come to exist. It doesn't make sense. I'm just trying to explain what they have said.
I'm interested in knowing what is awlawiyya ghayri.
Awlawiyyat ghayri means the cause gives them awlawiyya.
So
it's not from itself, but from the cause, the existence is preferred. The existence is preferred. So, قد قسموها إلى الأولوية الذاتية وغير الذاتية. ذاتية هي التي تقتضيها ذات الممكن. It's a type of preference that the essence of the contingent being, its mahiyya, implies that.
But before it comes to existence, how can it even be something?
Mahiyya, they say the mahiyya has more lenience towards existence.
But that's if you believe in asat al-mahiyya. Because before it comes to existence, there's no mahiyya. So how can that be more preferred when it doesn't even exist?
Yeah, this is wrong. Yes. They are not that much, as I said, philosophers. They are mostly people maybe with other backgrounds. وغير الذاتية. أولوية can be غير الذاتية. What does it mean? هي خلافة. Means it's not from ذاته. Okay? It's not from the mahiyya of it. It comes from outside. Then they said each of them also is either sufficient or not sufficient. If it is sufficient, means it's followed by existence. If it is not sufficient, means it's not sufficient for existence. Okay? So, for example, if it is 95%, 98%, it comes to existence.
No.
If it is just 51, 52%, it doesn't come to existence.
It's funny that it's quite an important point.
Yes.
I think, but it needs a cause.
But Allah says, pardon?
But it needs a cause to put it to existence.
Yeah. If we say it has to be the cause, yeah. Allama Tabatabai Rahmatullah alayhi says, Al-awlaviyyatu bi-aqsamiha batilatun. It says all its types, whether it is zati, ghair zati, kafi, ghair kafi, all of them are false.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay?
Exactly. Thank God.
Amma al-awlaviyyatu zatiyya. Why essential preference is false? لأن الماهية قبل الوجود باطلة الذات. Mahiyya before existence is nothing.
Indeed.
Especially according to asalatul wujud. Yeah, mahiyya before existence is nothing. لا شيئية لها. It has no reality, no nothing. حتى تقتضي أولوية الوجود. It has no reality so that it can imply or entail preference. When you don't exist, how you can prefer something? Okay? بعبارة أخرى الماهية من حيث هي ليست إلا هي لا موجودة ولا معدومة ولا أي شيء آخر. ماهية as such is just itself. Neither it is mawjud, nor it is ma'doom, nor has awlaviyya or lack of awlaviyya, nothing. أما الأولوية الغيرية. If someone says, okay, there is no awlaviyyat zati because mahiyya has no shay'iyya, but it can be granted by غير. وهي التي تأتي من ناحية العلة. Illa gives awlaviyya. Al-awlaviyyatu bil-ghayr means ghayr is illa. Illa gives awlaviyya. This is also false. Why? فَلَأَنَّهَا لَمَّا لَمْ تَصِلْ إِلَى حَدِّ الْوُجُوبِ. Because before it reaches the point of necessity, still it has equal relation to wujud and adam. Your problem is that you thought when we say mutasawiyatun nisba ila al-wujud wal adam, we meant 50-50. We didn't mean 50-50. We meant both of them are possible. If wujud is possible and adam is possible, each of them then needs explanation. It doesn't make any difference, you want to say 50%, 80%, 99%, it doesn't make any difference. As long as there is a chance that something may exist or may not exist, if it exists, needs explanation, and if it doesn't exist, needs explanation. This is a very important point. Nothing happens just by chance. Yes.
The problem with this, because we're saying, okay, it doesn't exist, and something else, which is that Allah, brings it to existence.
Mm.
So
then it makes it necessary. Either Allah makes it necessary or it doesn't come to existence.
Yeah, makes it necessary.
So there is no ulawiyya, it is zarura.
But it becomes zarura after the
Allah.
After the
Yeah, because they say ulawiyat bil ghayr. We say it has to be zarura bil ghayr, not ulawiyya bil ghayr. A question?
Yeah. Is it wrong to say that because Allah is Khaliq, then He's going to create because of that sifa that He has, and wouldn't that become awlaviyya bil illa? As in that the illa is giving.
As long as it does not reach the point of zarura, nothing comes to existence. It has to become zarura.
Isn't it?
There is no chance of saying, okay, 99% should come to existence, maybe 1% doesn't come to existence. If it is like this, then why it came to existence? Everything has to be finalized. It's not, there is no chance of doubt or uncertainty. It has to be finalized, become decisive. Either it exists 100% necessarily or doesn't exist necessarily.
So with Allah being Khaliq, then to create.
So he gives necessity. He gives necessity. Yeah.
Is it always a 50-50% relationship, or is it wrong to even talk about percent?
No, actually it's not 50-50. We mean it's possible to exist, possible not to exist. Means wujud and adam are not taken in the essence. In essence of mumkinat, there is no wujud or adam.
How can you say we are necessary at all? Because God doesn't need us. He doesn't
بالغير.
So can you how can you say we are
We are necessary when he wants us.
when He wants us?
Yes, this is ضرورة بالغير. When he wants us, we have to be there. Yes.
So when this darura is there and Allah gives existence, how is that related to this whole unity of existence which is there? Is it something else which comes to existence? If everything is one, then where is Adam for it to want to come to existence?
These are internal relations in that one.
Well, in that one, it's existence. There's no Adam for it to want to
Yeah,
come.
but that one is wujud mutlaq plus its ma'lulat, its effects. God is not changing, but these ma'lulat under him, they are changing after a certain level, of course.
Because the way we're explaining here is like you have a bucket of existence, you have Adam, then Allah, or this Bidayat al-Tamma, whenever it's daruri, he decides that something from this Adam should come and become part of existence.
No, not that from Adam. Adam is nothing. So mahiyat are neither in wujud or Adam because they're mutazal. So from the domain of mahiyat they come to wujud, and domain of mahiyat is not Adam. It's beyond wujud and Adam.
How can you have mahiyat even before they come to existence, before they have wujud? How can they have mahiyat?
That is taqarrarat. This is not existence, external existence. Where is that elephant which doesn't exist now?
It's mental existence.
No, it's not mental existence. Even if I am not there, that mahiya is there. Or where are the mathematical facts?
Then this is the salat al-mahiyya.
No, it's not asal al-mahiya.
Because it exists before it even
No.
exists. You imagine the mahiyya.
This is nafsul amr. This is different from as-salat. Inshallah, we will discuss this later. Okay. So, أما الأولوية الغيرية وهي التي تأتي من ناحية العلة, and that is what comes from cause because it's غير. Why this is also باطل, this is false? لأنها لما لم تصل إلى حد الوجوب لا يخرج بها الممكن من حد الاستواء, because unless it becomes necessary, still this mumkin has equal relation to wujud and adam. And we mean by equal, لا يتعين بها له الوجود أبدا. Neither wujud nor adam becomes decisive. ولا ينقطع بها السؤال. With this أولوية, this question doesn't stop. There's a big question here. لما وقع هذا دون ذاك? Why wujud happened, not adam? Even if it is 99%, still it's not enough. Because why that 1% didn't materialize? Do you agree that sometimes something can be 99% likely and it still doesn't happen? And sometimes it can happen. So there must be something that explains why this was 99% and happened, that one was 99% and didn't happen. So you need always something else.
So that is God's will, isn't it?
Yes.
Can you ask the same question about when we said it's daruri? Why
No.
did this become daruri and not something else?
No, why it became zaruri is different. But when it becomes zaruri, it has to come. Why it's zaruri? Because Allah Ta'ala is there. But when it is zaruri, then it has to come. هو الدليل على أنه لم تتم. So when it is not yet متعين, it means that لم تتم بعد العلة للعلة عليتها. It means that still the causality of the cause has not become completed. Still we don't have the complete cause. Our cause still is not 100% finalized, completed. فتحصل. So it became clear thus أن الترجيح, the only preference that can work is بإيجاب العلة وجود المعلول. إلا must necessitate existence of معلول. إيجاب means ضرورة. بحيث يتعين له الوجود, so that وجود becomes necessary for معلول. ويستحيل عليه العدم. Adam becomes impossible. Or this is one option if it comes to existence. Or another option, إيجابها عدمه, or the illah can necessitate non-existence. Yeah? Because either we have complete illah for wujud, or we have complete illah for adam, which of course complete illah for adam is adamul illah tamma for wujud. Okay?
That makes sense.
For something not to exist, what is the complete cause?
Absence of illah. Absence of illah.
Absence of illat tammah. So either nothing exists or illat naqisah. Because even if there is illat naqisah, still it's impossible to exist.
What do you mean by illah to naqis?
Incomplete cause.
Incomplete cause. I thought illah was God.
No, illah is cause.
Oh, it's illah is cause.
Yeah, God is illatul ilal,
Illatul illah.
the cause of the causes.
Cause of cause.
So for for example, for existence of a child, you need God, you need father, you need mother, you need air, you need lots of things. If any of these things that you need so that you can have the child, if any of them is missing or all of them are missing, you will not have the child. So you don't need to have none of the illat. Even if one of the illat is missing, certainly the child cannot exist. أو إيجابها عدمه means the illah necessitates the non-existence of معلول. فالشيء عن الممكن ما لم يجب لم يوجد. So ممكن before becoming necessary would not exist. Okay. Then there is just two lines, if you don't mind. I mentioned these two lines. خاتمة. This wujub that we said, which comes from illah, is wujub bil-ghayr. Okay? ما تقدم من الوجوب هو الذي يأتي الممكن من ناحية علته. This necessity for mumkin comes from its cause. Okay? This is wujub bil-ghayr. There is another technical term. Sometimes philosophers say wujub or dharura bishart al-mahmul. Al-insanu mawjudun bil-imkan bil-zat. Is it correct or not? Al-insanu mawjudun bil-imkan al-zati. It's correct. Al-insanu mawjudun bil-dharurati bil-ghayr. Is it correct or not?
Yes.
Okay, so two things so far you accepted. Al-insanu mawjudun bil-imkan al-zati. Al-insanu mawjudun bil-dharurati bil-ghayr. Now we want to teach you something else. Al-insanu al-mawjud mawjudun bil-dharurati bishart al-mahmul. Insan which exists. When you make mahmul as part of the subject, then it becomes necessary. Maybe you say, what's the benefit? We will talk about benefit later. Just remember, al-insanul katib katibun. Is it necessary or not? Yes. But what type of zarura is here? What type of necessity? We say bishart al-mahmul. With the condition of the predicate. Means if mahmul is there, then it becomes necessary. So al-insanul katib katibun. Or you can say al-insanu katibun bil-zarura bishart al-mahmul. So, وَلَهُ وُجُوبٌ آخر. For mumkin, there is another kind of necessity. يَلْحَقُهُ بَعْدَ تَحَقُّقِ الْوُجُودِ أَوِ الْعَدَمِ. After it exists, or after Adam becomes necessary for it, this type of zarura is called al-zarura bishart al-mahmul. Necessity on the condition of the predicate. فالممكن الموجود محفوف بالضرورتين. So when a contingent being exists, it is surrounded by two zarura. Zarura بالغير before it comes to existence. Zarura بشرط المحمول after it comes to existence. Okay? For example, right now, because we are mawjood, can we be ma'doom? No. Right now, when we are mawjood, we are mawjood. This is also a kind of zarura. But this zarura is different from that zarura which is before our existence. So, we have zarura bil ghayr, we have zarura bishart al-mahmul. Zarura bil ghayr comes before existence, but zarura bishart al-mahmul is after we exist. Of course, when I say after, it's not after in time. Means in analysis. In analysis, when you exist, then you must exist.
And here the Shat Mahmud, there was the example you gave was Qatir, here is Mawjood.
Mawjood. Okay, inshallah, after holidays, we will continue with chapter 6, which is about different meanings of imkan, other than imkan al-zati, imkan bil-ghayr, imkan bil-qiyas. There are other types of imkan that inshallah we will talk, imkan al-wughui, imkan istidadi, and so on and so forth.
Have a religion test on the first class.
Inshallah, we will talk about it. So I would like to end with some du'as, because this is our last session of philosophy and last session of this semester and last session of the year. So first we want to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the blessing of having a hose and learning and sharing and discussing. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to include us among His servants who are grateful for all His blessings. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us to carry on with our pursuit of understanding and pursuit of nearness to Him. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to connect us in our spirit and mind to all our scholars in the past who have been themselves connected to Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, so that inshallah we are counted as true students of the students of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to remove and keep away from us any obstacle that may happen in our studies and in our pursuit of understanding and nearness. We ask Allah for shifa for all people who are ill. We ask His rahmah and maghfirah for all people who have rights upon us, especially our ulama and maraji. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen.